Hello everyone and welcome back to It's Personal. I am Mona and today's video is going to be a flip through video of sketchbooks and all the projects that was done in 2025, but also a little bit of my favorite supplies of 2025 and then also the supplies I'm most excited to use in 2026 to come. So let's jump right into it. So I went into my little flip file and I dragged out all the art I did this year, and I also went to the sketchbooks to go and find my most favorite ones. And there you guys are going to see there's a lot of pencil work I did this year, color pencil work, which I'm really proud of. But let's put some of it off to the side so I can take it in one by one. So this was probably somewhere in the start of the year. I'm not sure if everything is in chronological order, but this was the first one. At the beginning of the year, I made these little let's call them Polaroid sized cards, just to get my head into the game and try to be creative but on a smaller scale, so it wasn't so intimidating to get the year started. Yeah, and I started off with these and that cute little landscape image in a bottle. I think I can't remember if I found some inspiration for this online somewhere, but yeah, I just liked the idea of doing that and it came out so cute. And what's next? Oh yeah, and then this was a project that was completed at the end of 2024, start of 2025. I started end of 2024 and then the last of it I got done at the beginning of the year. But this was such a fun color pencil project. I thought I'd share that with you guys. It was such a fun one. And then we went into some more little Polaroid size like little projects. And this came out kind of cute. I was kind of proud of the background for that little image. I hope you guys can see if it's going to focus on the details on that. I think that came out really cute. And then this was a little project I tried to do with the Fabriano black edition Fabriano pencils, if I remember correctly. It was okay. I wasn't very impressed, but it was still fun. And then we move on to some more of the black Fabriano black editions on the black. I was trying to get them. I was trying to love them. I'm not there quite yet, but we tried. And then I went into some other projects, pencil projects on colored paper. I really enjoy using colored paper with color pencils. It sounds really weird when I say that. I like color pencils on color paper. It's a lot of color. But this was a fun one too. And I think there's something on the back of this one. Oh yeah, there's some more of the little tiny projects. There you go. I think this actually was the first project. I don't want to speak under correction, but I think this is the first one project I actually did with the Kalour 300 set, because I see there's neons involved, and I think this was from that set, the neon colors. I wanted to do something pretty vibrant, so this came out of that set. This is a little bit of watercolor and pencils by the look of things, and just a little bit of flower doodles. I tend to go to flowers when I default to just get the juices flowing. I do some flowers. And this little project was on the channel. This was a full video mixed media between watercolors and color pencils. This was there. I will try and remember, if I remember, to link all the projects of some of these things in the description below as well. But yeah, this was a really cute little project. I'll show you the sketches for this in the sketchbook in a little bit, where that idea came from. And then I went through a phase of trying to figure out how oil pastels work, and this was an attempt to mix two. I think I had two different brands on this. I've got Pentel pastels, and then I think it's Reeves. The other brand. I can't remember right now. But yeah, this was a struggle for me, because this is where I realized I need softer pastels for the color detail, because I found an Instagram image from an artist, and I kind of tried to recreate it, but it didn't come out quite right because I couldn't get the pastels to be as bright as I wanted them to be. And then there is another little project. I just want to put some paper on it. I still need to seal all the oil pastels that went into my file. My file did not like the oil pastels, that's for sure. The plastic didn't. And this was a cute little doodle I did. Just some watercolor background, some black pen drawings on top, and then I went in with some color pencils just to like darken and deepen the colors. And then we have got this little project over here. This was actually done as part of a little group outing earlier in the year. I wanted to try the blending of different tones together and layering them. It did not come out perfect. I like the idea of this. It's something I want to try and explore some more in the future, but we'll see. But I think overall this little project was a success for someone who's never done something like this. I think it came out really well. Let's see what's behind it. Oh yeah, some more oil pastels. I need the extra paper to cover it again. So yeah, again, this one was done. It was a little bit better because after the initial project, I ended up buying some Artex oil pastels, and I think I used that on top of this maybe, and it came out much better because I could define the highlight sections some more, and I played a little bit some more with. You see, my pastels are messy and it's not pretty, but you know, for someone who's still learning oil pastels, I think this is a good start. It's a decent start at least. Okay. Oh, I almost skipped past the little ice cream man because he's covering the other art. This was also a cute little doodle I saw. I think it was on Pinterest, and I wanted to give it some color and life. And yeah, it was just a cute little fun thing to do on the side off camera, and a little bit of practice for the blending and the colors, which was really, really fun. Okay, let's see what's next. All right, so this was also a project on the YouTube channel, and yeah, I used some mixed media art. The stencils are actually some of the supplies I really enjoyed using this year. I wish I had used them more, but you know, there's always 2026 to come. It was stencils, watercolors, and then I used a little bit of pencil. Oh, and there was a little bit of gouache over here as well. And my favorite, one of my favorite watercolors for the year was this gold that you can see shining all over the background because I splattered it on there. And yeah, and it was just so much fun. All right, moving on to video number 20's artwork. Oh, this was one of the best. I think out of the original, something that came from me originally, an original idea for me was this little project, and I was so super proud of it when it was finished because it represented the 20 videos. This was video number 20 on the channel, and I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who had subscribed at that time, and my little avatar for the channel, and the little videotape, VHS tape, and little art supplies in the container with the celebratory balloons and stuff, and the little cupcake, of course, which is also there. But this was a lot of fun, and I think I grew a lot doing this project this year. Okay, and then we have got the Color Along series. This project was a 12-week, 12-part project. Overall, this was so much time consuming because it's on a complete A4 size, and yeah, this was a lot of fun but so challenging. And at the same time, looking back at it, I am super proud of this project. It was fun. It was I learned a lot. I learned a lot what not to do. You see me pointing at that little blue fence over there. But if you want to see more of this, you can go check out the super cut version of it, or even the individual parts that are also on the channel. Alright, so this one, the little light bulb from the channel. It was fun. I enjoyed the bubbles on this one, learning how to do the little light bulb. Fun project overall. And then I had a little bit of more little tiny projects off to the side, a little bookmark I did, but if you guys can see, I'm gonna try and focus this thing. It's got a little bit of sparkle to it. I used some metallic watercolors I bought off Temu on this one, just to test them out on paper and see how they did. And then there's my little cute mushroom house with the little butterflies at the bottom, which was really fun. And that is that for that project. Then we went over to our color theory section. I didn't think I showed this on camera because I went through a phase of this is not a project per se, but this was my process, and I went through and swatched out acrylics, the different acrylics I had, and what combinations worked best. I tested out the gouaches I had, and then I ended up with this project, which I'm going to show you. This was the project for all those swatches, which also went onto the channel, but it also served as a little bit of color theory, aesthetically pleasing, but also a lesson involved, which was really nice. I spent like 2 weeks prepping for this video, and yeah, I'm glad I did, because I actually enjoyed learning how to just work with primary colors and secondary colors and how to mix those together to get your colors, which was a good learning experience. Let me just get this out of the way. And then we come to this. This was the 5-parter paint along series that finished up last week with the super cut as well. And yeah, I enjoyed this. This was a smaller scale than the color along series, which was amazing because it was shorter. And yeah, some of the videos were a bit longer, but it was still so much fun to do this little truck and the just to like learn some more techniques around gouache paint. Okay, I'm gonna have to uncover the next one because it's packed away completely and nicely because it's another pastel piece of artwork. This was actually done with the Artex oil pastels, the soft ones I bought earlier in the year, and I have to say, practicing a little bit with them on this project was a lot of fun. It's still it's still messy, but I am already feeling a little bit more confident every time I use them. So hopefully by the end of next year, I can give myself a thumbs up and say, this is something I'm really proud of, but this was good experience. Okay, let's seal it back up again so we can flip around. Well, this little project I did a couple of weeks ago as I visited some friends, and this was me and the friends chill time, because she made her own version she made her own version of this, and I did mine like this. But what I really loved about this project, and I'm going to lift it up so I can show you guys if I can focus the camera, is I used neon color pencils all around the squiggles to give it a pop of color. And I'm telling you guys, I figured out something here that I really enjoyed. And that is what led to the next project that I was like, ooh, this could be fun. So the next project was this one. This was out of a coloring book. I just need to double check which one it was. It was this one, I think. Yeah, okay. So this project came out of this coloring book. She is Blessed coloring book, and this is a Christian Art Gifts coloring book. I bought this probably more than a year ago now, probably close to 2 years, and this came out of this little book. I think it's this one. Yeah, no, it is this one. And yeah, as you guys can see, I ended up not coloring it all the way to the border. I kind of decided to leave the border because I taped it down to a plywood board and I colored. And yeah, this was a good amount of fun. I think the thing I enjoyed most about this project, I'm going to try and zoom in a little bit so you guys can see, not zoom, but just lift it up and focus it. I used some pop of colors within the little butterflies, like with this pinkish butterfly over here. I used a little bit of blue. Down here with this blue butterfly, there was a little bit more. I used a little bit of purple to make it pop. Let's see if we can focus. And yeah, I think I even used the neon colors to outline the butterflies, which I think really turned out cute. It looks really nice. But yeah, this was so much fun. I didn't do a lot of coloring book pages this year, but I really enjoyed this one. Another thing that was fun about this was the background. The background was done with only using primary colors, primary into secondary colors, yellow, blue, and then the blue into the green, and I did all of the background with that in watercolor. So much fun. Oh, I almost forgot. So this was like my first attempt for my Christmas video that's going to come out just before Christmas or on Christmas Day. I can't remember when I've planned it for, but yeah, I've got an elf scheduled for Christmas, but this was the first project I tried and I wasn't 100% happy with it, and I had a lot of technical difficulties with the footage, so I was like, no, let's try again. And I think attempt number 2 came out better, but this was a good little start. Our little Christmas elf with the Christmas decoration, the Christmas tree in the back, and the big present, which was a simple but cute little project with a little bit of watercolor and some color pencils. Okay, we can move all of this out of the way. We are almost through the flip files images, and then yeah, I literally cannot show you the back of that. So this is my new find, and probably the one I'm most excited for 2026. I'll show them to you in a little bit. But this is soft pastel pencils. It was sealed with a fixative on craft paper, and I have to tell you guys, I am so excited for this. Using this medium in other formats is going to bring me a lot of joy and pleasure, but I'm going to show you the supplies in a little bit. But yeah, really fun. I sat down I did this on a Sunday afternoon whilst playing Minecraft with friends, and in between the breaks and AFKing in front of my wheat farm, this is what I did, and I was so happy with it. So yeah, I hope you guys will, if you guys think I should try some videos with this, I think I would actually do that, because yeah, this is going to be something I enjoy. I love the color combinations on this, and the way pastel pencils pop, and yeah, it makes my brain really happy. I can't show you the back of that because the back of that one has the Christmas project on it. I sat down last night and I did another one with the pastel pencils, and look at this cute little girl. It's on a grey cardstock, Elle cardstock from Fabriano's cardstock, yeah. And yeah, it turned out pretty cute. The only problem I had with this last night was I could not get enough layers, but it's because the paper doesn't have a lot of tooth on it on the flat side, which is actually the paper I like to use for color pencils, but not so much, I'm realizing now, for soft pastels. Soft pastels need something with a little bit more tooth to it, that's a little bit more, let's say, absorbent of the medium. So yeah, this was my cute little girl with her buns on her head, and yeah, she was just happy. All right, so just a little bit of a incomplete projects for the year. This project I started earlier in the year and it has still not been finished. The book is a little bit big for the screen. This is the only big one. Hopefully I can finish this gouache project because it's done on craft paper like this. And yeah, hopefully I can finish this start of next year at some point, because I really want to move on from this to some new projects. But yeah, it's incomplete, but it's still part of the process and the story. All right, so let's see. I've got a couple of these little prime art sketchbooks lying around my room, and I tend to jump around between them depending on the day and the season. So here we go. Oh yeah, this was from my little building study period. I did this with the art. This was another art session with some friends, and I used the reference photo, and then I was like, oh, this is so nice, I want to recreate it, and then I did that for that session. I'm just sharing it because it was part of the sketchbook stuff I did this year. This one was also one I did, but this one I think I did the next day. Also some watercolor, just some loose hand sketching, and I think this turned out really well. Those first two was really well, and then I did this one for a video on the channel. It was my least favorite of the three, but I think it was because I was really nervous on recording this and I wanted to do something really nice, and I think it just got overwhelmingly too busy, which reminded me sometimes I just need to tone it down and do something a little bit more simple, and that would be fine too. That's it for that little sketchbook. It doesn't have a lot of paper in it, of pieces in it. Now I'm going to flip through another one. Some of it I'm not going to show all of it because it's not all relevant for 2025. So at the beginning of the year I went through a phase of like doodling everything on little notes, like sticky notes, or not sticky notes, but like little notes, notes where you can write your note. I can't remember what you call these things, but anyway, I sketched on them, then I would put them in this little, I'll stick them into my sketchbook, And it was just like kind of my way of getting brain dumping and idea dumping stuff, so I could have reference stuff for the future if I wanted to like recreate something for like a color along, or maybe work on a coloring page again. Here you will see the references for some of this ideas I had for videos in the last year. This was the flower one, the mixed media one, and I was obsessed with this little flower for I don't know how long, and I just scribbled it everywhere. I doodled it till my heart was full. I even did some watercolor painting with it just to, you know, get it out of my system somehow. And yeah, and then I did some more little drawings of some ideas I had in my head. I still think some of these are very viable. You can see the idea coming here together for the video as it progressed slowly but surely. And then there was just some random little doodle ideas and things I wanted to try out, some concepts. This actually ended up going into one of the other sketchbooks that I'm going to show you now. Something similar to this, but not exactly this. But yeah, which was also a nice little project I did for myself off the side. Beyond every smile. You can fill in the rest of that. Then I'm going to skip over all my swatches because I use these little sketchbooks for swatching as well when I get new supplies. Then I went through a little bit of a drawing phase with one of the supplies that's been my favorite this year. It's the Uni Pin Fine liners, and this was done with the sepia one. And I have to say, I've really enjoyed using that fine liner because a liner, it's not black, it's not too light. It's just like this nice brown color that just makes the artwork look really, really nice. And yeah, I did a couple of just loose hand doodles, some inspiration I got from online, and I just wanted to recreate some of it, but also put my own twist on it. And yeah, there was some good practice involved in using some different shapes. And my little smiley little flower over here. This poor little tower got all kinds of crooked here with the black pen, but it was still fun to create it. Yeah, and then just another couple of little building studies. Imperfect, definitely, but still fun. This was another set of Sunday. I think this was one Sunday or 2 Sundays. I did one on each, or they were both on the same day, I can't remember. But yeah, this was just me sitting in front of my little fun desk in my room and just enjoying the sunshine. And yeah, it was just sunshine. This was kind of at the start of summer in South Africa when I did this, and it was just those first hotter days after the winter. So that's what kind of where the sunshine inspiration came from. And then I just doodled a big M for Mona, just because I could. That's that for that sketchbook. Now we are moving on to the last 2 sketchbooks for this. And I'm also going to skip to the stuff that has been done this year. This was watercolor and my other little favorite art supply for the year, the gold watercolor all around the little squiggles. This was so much fun, just letting go of my brain and just, you know, painting in the colors, mixing them. Whole lot of fun. This was also a cute little doodle I did one day when I was online with the friends. I was just ESPing, and if I say ESP, I mean I was being an emotional support person for everyone gaming, and I was just chilling in the channel. So I ended up doing this. Color did all the painting of watercolor backgrounds, and then I doodled all over them, which was really, really fun. This was another just a little bit of watercolor, colored pencils, trying to get some depth in some flowers, and yeah, some good practice on this one. Oh, 2 little gouache project for this year, 2 different vibes, but yeah, also very time consuming. I did not expect this to take as long as it did. I kind of picked up the projects and I put them down again, but yeah, I think this got done before some of the other projects to the back. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed them. Gouache is just something that's, for me, it's one of those mediums that it just gels well. And yeah, this is the result of some of that playtime. Some more little projects, some little doodles. Again, that golden watercolor is just everywhere. I don't think this was the golden watercolor. This was actually a golden calligraphy pen, if I remember correctly. I used dotted some of the ink down onto a paper, and then I used a little bit of I can actually take it out and show you guys a straw, which was just, I used the straw just to at the end dab it into the ink and paint and stuff, and just dab it onto the paper to make those little cute little circles on the page. Okay, so let's see what's next. So I did this start of the year. This was at the start of the year at some point. This little cat was on a little coffee cup when I went to go visit some friends, and I wanted to do a little project before we came home, but I do see some of the pencils from this side leaked onto the background, which is kind of sad. Just see how some of it did seep onto the background of this little kitty cat, but it is what it is. I might need to seal it, but the damage has already been done, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. The horrifics of just letting go and doing stuff. I tried something I saw online, just like doing random bits of art, and I think I can't even remember what I used. I think there was crayons involved and watercolor and was there pencils involved? I'm not sure. I can't even remember properly, but messy but fun, relaxing supposed to be. And that's that little arch I was talking about earlier, and this was one of those projects this year I was really proud of, and it took me, I think it was over the course of a week plus minus, because I had to do the bricks in the background a couple of times. I needed to go over this archway a couple of times to get those details. The little flowers and the vines took a good while, and even this background on the inside of the tunnel was a mission and a half. But I'm really happy about this, and what I was able to learn and achieve from using this was also done with gouache. Very thick gouache, but it was done in gouache. Then I went through a little phase of trying to figure out how to do bushes and little flowers in fields and all those things. So I did a lot of practicing for that and on these 2 pages, and I was determined to fill up the 2 pages in my sketchbook, and I'm glad that I did, because it was a lot of fun. Just another bit of not very pretty flowers, but it was still a little bit of practice and just like using some color blending and just being more loose-handed and not so stiff, basically. Okay, let's see. This one is a little bit of an incomplete project. You can see the masking tape is still stuck on here. I think I got to a point and then I kind of got stuck with the idea on this, and I still want to finish it, but I don't know where it's going to go. We will see. So we are on to the last bit of this. So I've got some tidy towel over here because this is the soft pastels. I haven't sealed this page yet because I still want to put something in this little corner before I go in with the fixative and seal this page in. I've got a cute little cupcake, something that looks like a bowling ball kind of, but I don't think it wasn't supposed to be that. In this little cute little scruffy cat at the bottom, which is my new best friend. I tell you, I love it. It's so cute. But yeah, this was my little attempt at soft pastels, using them in this soft pastel pencil and using them in this specific sketchbook to see how the paper would do, because I still have a lot of paper left in this book. That was that for this sketchbook. And then we're on to the last one. Also one I started this year, and I like the paper in this book. This is a Marte sketchbook, and it is 160 GSM. Yeah, and it's got a good amount of papers in them. So let me just skip to where I want to start showing you guys, because there's stuff in here from the previous year. So this was from a little art session with the friends again. And yeah, this has got a lot of my favorite paint on it. It's the gold and watercolor. Yeah, this was done on the same day I think I did the blue building structure and the beginning of that one sketchbook, because I want to do something else as well. So I decided just to do a couple of quick little flowers and leaves and stuff, and then quickly did some watercolor on them. It was really, I did this maybe like 45 minutes, and I did a little bit of pencil work when it all dried, and I did the entire background with that gold. And it was just a quick little project just to like end off the day with, and it's so satisfying to pick up the book every time and see that gold just shimmer everywhere. Some little loose-handed doodles, just trying out some little flower petals. They don't look very good, but it was just fun. a mixed page of finished characters and then something that looks like it's trying to see through your soul, because you can see into this poor character's little soul, because she doesn't have any eyes at the moment. I didn't get to finish this one yet, but I will have to, just to complete the page at one point. Then I went into a little phase of some more character creation, and I have to tell you, this was fun. I did these on outings and day outings with myself, or morning outings kind of, and yeah, this was a lot of fun to do this. And I love the color combinations. This little character just goes through the motions, and here is just 3 different kinds of characters. But yeah, so much fun doing these. This was a little bit of a thank you to a friend of mine for sticking around in 2025, and yeah, being a good support to me and on the channel and in the comments and stuff. So yeah, I appreciate her very much. And then how many was left? This is the last one for the sketchbook. Also some characters, just creating something that looks a little bit different but also pops out a lot. And that's it for the sketchbooks. And I also think that is it for the artwork for 2025. So I need to get a quick little doodle of water, just a little squidge, and then I'll be back for part number 2, so I can tell you guys what my favorite supplies were for this year, and also the supplies that I'm really excited for to be using in 2026. Alright everyone, I'm back! But I forgot something, because I turned around and checked behind me and I forgot I had a little basket with stuff in them still. So another thing I got into this year was a little bit of card making, because it's been so much fun. So you guys are just gonna have to bear with me for a second, because I'm not gonna take these out of the packaging, because I really want to sell these at one point and I don't want to unpackage them again. But I'll quickly flip through them so you guys can see the cards I made this year out of scrapbooking paper. And this was so much fun. They've got a plain background on them, there's an envelope and a little inner, but these cards were so much fun to make, and it's been a real treat and a way for my brain to just shut down and gather different pieces of paper, color coordinated of course, and just make these cute little cards that you can use for greeting people with, greetings and birthday wishes, or just get well cards, all those things. And I tried to make them in sets of 2, like 2 cards that can go together. And yeah, I just really enjoyed learning like color combinations and how to use different kinds of paper together this year, and just being able to and having fun with these. And yeah, these were all the ones I packaged already, but I bought a lot of craft scrapbooking paper again, just to get some new paper into my supplies and just be re-inspired. And yeah, I really like these 2. They are some of my favorites out of the stash. I think it's the color combinations between that purple red color and the yellow and the flowers on here. So these are some of my favorites. And these were done, then the rest of the stack was done a little bit more recently. This card still needs a friend. It doesn't have a friend yet, but if you guys remember, earlier in the year I had a video from Temu, and these little stickers or tinier scrapbooking paper notes came from that set, these ones. And yeah, these were a lot of fun to use in these projects, in some more color coordinated little cards. These 2 more, so much fun to use them together, the papers, and these all still need to get packaged. And yeah, these are some more of those Temu supply haul video stickers and little papers I used on here, just to give the cards a little bit of a good little look. But yeah, these are all the cards I ended up making in 2025, which I'll probably hopefully get to sell at one point, so they don't end up just gathering dust everywhere. Alright, so now this next part of the video is all my favorite supplies for 2025. So I'm going to start off with the big ones, because, or the ones I cannot live without, because I can't do my art without them. Probably like a year and a half ago, I bought some paintbrushes at my local Fabriano store, and these are the Gouache I can't even spell it. It's Giorgione, Grioni or something like that. They've got these nice little brushes like this and the flat round ones, and these actually work really well for watercolor, but also for me they're a little bit more sturdy and I like them using them for gouache. You can see a couple of these paint brushes have been loved quite a bit. It has been loved just a little bit. The colors, they have been dyed basically, that you can see the colors are not as originally. Some of these brushes are just, I love using them over and over again. And yeah, these have been like the brushes I run to when I do gouache paintings. When I did gouache painting this year, these are the ones I went to. Really affordable. Are they the most high grade quality ones? Definitely not, but for someone that does art on a budget like me, I've got a good couple of brushes. I can use them all over the place. The bigger ones are really nice for wetting backgrounds with, if you're going to use watercolor. And even the tinier ones, I like them for gouache. They handle the water and the paint really well. Some of them still, they give you nice fine points, and when you want to do smaller details, yeah, and they're just really budget friendly. And I like that about a paintbrush. Another really cool art supply I bought myself this year, and it's not technically not an art supply, it's a makeup supply, was this big round fluffy brush, which I used a lot during the Color Along series, and I cannot imagine my existence without it now, because it comes along with every big project I do for color pencils now, because I get to sweep all the little crumbs away instead of using my hand and putting all the oils and stuff on the paper. And yeah, this just gets the job done, and I don't smudge anything, I don't get oils on the paper, which is a good thing. All right, so then my favorite pens for the year I used were probably these three. I used them on rotation with each other. One of them I'll show you individually. These are the Uni Pin Fine liners, waterproof and fade-proof pigments by Mitsubishi. I've got 3 black ones. I've got the brush pen over here, which is actually a really, I'm going to try and focus it for you guys. This is a really fine pointed brush pen, works really, really well. Good life on this pen, which is important for me because, again, budget. They are a little bit more expensive in South Africa than the microns are, but I think for the quality and the longevity of it, this is the better product to buy. Then I've got a 0.3 and a 0.5. I'm going to show you guys that as well. Really, really nice product. If I hope it focuses. Nice point, and also a long life on these. And this is the sepia pen I was talking about, the one I'm using in my sketchbook more often now. It's also an 0.5, and it's also a really, really nice pen. Gets the job done, but it's not as harsh as black. Even if you're trying to outline things in your artwork, this is probably a pretty nice one if you want a more subtle effect, because I kind of like to outline things, and I don't always want the darker pens or the black in that. Then the jelly roll is always something I go to. If I have a finance for it in 2026, I would actually like to see if I can find a replacement, something that is similar to this but that also does the job, because my 10 is almost running out and I don't see them as popular as much anymore. There's a lot of other alternatives on the market that I should also be trying out. Then this is going to sound silly, but this Faber-Castell eraser pen has been a wow for me this year. I use it a lot with the sketchbooking. I'm just going to show you guys quickly. I'm just going to pull out the eraser part of it. Ooh, there it jumps. It's got this very long point in it, and you can refill it from the back like that. Put the cap back on, and then you just keep pressing it until it comes out the bottom. I might have broken it now. This is how it goes. I try and demonstrate to you guys something I really love, and then I might end up just breaking it. Now that works again now. Okay, cool. It's working now. The only thing I ran into in the beginning with this thing was, I'm going to zoom. I'm just going to focus a little bit. I'm going to try and focus. Come on, camera focus. Just a second for me. Okay, it's probably not going to focus. Okay, so I'm going to go down to the bottom. At the end of this eraser pen, I don't know if it's the threading on the inside or what happened, but it kept, when I started erasing, it would click and then not click, but it's like the tip of it was coming undone. So I ended up using some hot glue just to adhere it permanently to the tube basically. So now I can have the eraser out, erase as much as I want, use as much pressure as I want, and that little part at the front is not going anywhere. I don't know, maybe it was just mine because it did crack at one point as well, but it wasn't long after I got it. I think the material maybe wasn't great for this, or it was a design problem. But yeah, overall, if this problem got fixed, this would be a really nice product just to have in your pencil case, or close with your art supplies, because the erasers on this are really nice, and yeah, they get the job done really well. Just need to DIY and fixie it a little bit, but it still works really fine. I still have a lot of the eraser left, and yeah, there are some extras as well. Another art supply I couldn't imagine my life without this year was my gouache titanium paint. I never realized how much I needed this in tube format until I discovered I love gouache. Putting gouache for me, white gouache paint in a container or in a palette is a waste of time, because you're never going to get it as white as the moment you get it out of the tube. So now I've got into the habit of just putting some white paint on my palette when I'm doing projects as I need it, and it makes this last longer, and I get white when I properly want it. So that was my last for these little art supplies. Then art supplies I also really enjoyed in 2025, which I'm hoping to use more next year, was the stencils I also got from Mungyo. I didn't get around to using all of them. You can see the ones that did get some love are a little bit darker, but so these I really wanted to use these again in 2026. And yeah, because I think they add a really nice texture and a little bit of a different kind of vibe to mixed media projects. So I'm excited to use these next year as well, because they were fun this year when I did some projects with them. Alright, so now onto the watercolor and the gouache paint I really enjoyed this year. What I did was I pulled out my swatch cards for the paint I have inside of my gouache palette, and then also inside of the watercolor palette. Now what I do is, and I know I shouldn't do this, but I did do it many moons ago, and I'm going to do it until I work through this set of paints, because I haven't bought new watercolors in recent years. The Prime Art and Art Ranger are the two sets of watercolors I have in my palette, but at one point I did start to mix the colors that were the same, because I kind of wanted the best of both of them, so I ended up mixing them. So the colors that overlap between the two sets are mixed into my palette. And then the color I wanted to show you guys from this one, more specific, that I really love, is this gold right over here. And that is the gold I used in a lot of the projects this year, and it comes from the Mungyo pans. It's this one right over here. There you go, 864 gold by Mungyo, and I really love this color. Beginning of next year, I'm gonna definitely make a point of it to get another tin or another palette, little small palette of it, because this is a really beautiful color, and it's sharp. I love using it. And this is the gouache watercolors I have in my pan set. Also the same thing, if the colors overlap between my different sets, I tend to mix them. Just want to think quickly. Yeah, most of these I do mix the colors that are the same between the sets. And if you look at this, the colors of the sets I do have in here, if you put it down, then I can maybe focus this thing. I've got Reeves, Art Ranger, Dala, and Prime Art at the bottom. Now the colors, you can see where some of the colors do look a lot the same. It's like the Reeves, the lemon yellows look a lot the same. So yeah, I've got this set is basically mixed into my gouache palette. I've got them all. I think I've got which ones do I have separately? I almost want to say I think I've put the Reeves ones at the top. Those ones are in separate little pans at the top of on the one side of my palette. If I'm correct, I might be wrong, but somewhere along the line I do have a little extra row on the side of my palette where I have a different set of colors from a different collection. I just can't remember which one it is now. But yeah, these are the gouaches I really love. and really use a lot in my artwork and projects and stuff. So yeah, gouache is just an amazing medium overall. These are the palettes and a little sticky note still off to the side. This one is my watercolor one. Oh yeah, it's the watercolor one. I've got a different watercolor set on the side. It's not going to focus properly now because the palette is too big and I'm not going to move the camera right now. But yeah, this is my watercolor set. Here's the gold I spoke about, and the other three metallic colors. So it's 4 metallic colors from the Mungyo set. It's a pearl, white, a copper, a silver, and then the gold. But that gold has been loved. You can see it's been worked out quite a bit. And then I've got the gouache one over here. You can see I've refilled this more recently because the pans are nice and full. When they get low, I just tend to top them up and I leave the pan out for a couple of days. And yeah, then everything kind of dries out, and then I can just spray them with my spritzer bottle, and then they kind of start reactivating, and then I can take some of the paint, mix it in the little tray, in the little wells. Yeah, and we can just keep on painting. You can see it's been used recently. But that's it for the watercolor and the gouache paint. And now let's get to those color pencils, because this video is getting really long now. It was not supposed to be this long. And yeah, my favorite color pencils for 2025 is the Kalour 300 set. Now I'm going to move this thing now, and I hope you guys can see properly. I'm going to try and get it all in camera. This is the Kalour. It's my swatch card for the Kalour 300 color pencil set. And you will see I've got them all grouped up into little blocks, because I'm just going to give you a quick idea of why. Because I've got mine organized in these little containers, and it's just easier because now I know container 5 would be this one. It's got all my greens or greenish blue colors in them. Or I can pull out this container with all them in, and I can see number 1. This is the yellows and the oranges and the skin tones or flesh tones in here as well. Well, some of the flesh tones at least in this little set over here. So yeah, I put the 300 set into those containers, and I use this system to sort them. So if they ever do get mixed up, this is where I can return to, because I've got all my pencils. I'm going to show you guys. I've got them all. Focus. Is it focusing on the number? I don't know. That's a bit better. Okay, so I've renumbered all of them with some. I think I used the original numbers, but I renumbered them with a little white little label and a little black text on top, because no one can properly read that color names and stuff with the silver. It just makes your eyes hurt too much. So I renumbered them, put them in little containers, wrote down all the numbers. This took a little bit of a while, but I'm glad I did, because you see even the box is too big for this. This box was, let me stand up for a second. This box is the box the Kalour set came in, and it was so much fun. This video, I'll say this quickly, this video isn't sponsored, but I want to show you guys the product. It was in this humongous box with like 8 trays of pencils. And yeah, this was the best investment I did for this year. And I used these pencils quite a lot, quite a bit of projects. The big color long series was done with these pencils. These were the only pencils I grabbed during that entire 12-part series. And yeah, that is why I love these pencils. I'm really glad I made this investment this year. All right, let's put that off to the side. Ooh, my chair is squeaking. Okay, so that was it for the supplies I really loved this year. And these are going to be the 2 supplies I'm really excited to see more of and even use in 2026. So here they are. I'm going to show you guys the one I bought. Probably, let me just move some of the paintbrushes out of the way quickly so I can show you guys. Yeah, I know there's a little wrapped up ribbon around it. These are the Artix oil pastels. I bought these earlier in the year because I wanted something softer than the Pentel oil pastels I have at the moment. And I think the others I think it's Reeves. It's the other little set I have. But I needed something that was softer than both of those. And this kind of, after doing some research and watching videos online, this set kind of caught my eye, and I was like, okay, fine, I can order this on Takealot in South Africa and I can get it for a reasonable price. And this product is kind of cool. The pastels are really soft. It comes in sturdy packaging. You can see they have not been loved a lot because they are still in pretty good condition. But this is something I really want to get better at next year, and I want to tell you why. Because I want to use them in combination with another product I bought for Black Friday. My stretches, I might need to stretch a little bit more to another spot on my desk because I forgot to take these out of their cute little hiding place. Give me a second, I'm on my way back. Everything is in reaching distance. Okay, so the product I bought for Black Friday this year was the Kalour 72-piece soft pastel color pencils. Now, why did I do all the stretching? Because I already took these pencils out of the box. They are no longer in this little beautiful container. Because I'm someone that likes to have my supplies on hand and ready to go, I ended up putting them, I'll show you guys, into these little cups. I put some warm tones on the warmer colors in here, the blues, the greens on this side, and I've got the grays and the blacks in here. I also have some poigneur. I think I had like 5 or 6 of those pencils. I also put them in there so I can use them. Also some soft pastels. But yeah, I think from the little bit I've already played with this product, I am super excited for it. I'm going to show you guys the swatch card for it. Just keep in mind, I did put fixative over this because I didn't want them to smudge. So the fixative does change the color of the pastels to some degree, not a lot, just enough so you can notice the vibrancy. And it's not, it feels to me like it kind of brightens the color, the fixative, even though it's a matte fixative. Maybe it just gives it a little bit more life, I don't know. But yeah, this is the swatch card for it. When I received the tin, I was looking at the trays one by one, side by side, and I was like, something is off with this color order. But because I was excited, I did not think to, take the colors in order at any given rate, and I just started using them. I picked the colors up I wanted to use. I could see from the tips of it what color, and I was like, okay, fine, I can just go with that. And then earlier in the week, I sat down and I was like, something is off with the arrangement. And I started rearranging the trays according to their color chart. And they were a bit, what is the Afrikaans word for it? Deurmekaar. It was a bit messy. So once I sorted them out and I had swatched them out, the rainbow of color selection was actually much more visible, and I could get a better idea of the range that was available in the set. And I have to say, this is kind of nice. One problem I have, I don't have enough skin tones. Now, people are going to tell me, but you can mix them. But some days I'm a lazy artist, or some days I'm a lazy project maker, and I felt I needed a little bit more like skin tone-ish colors that were a little bit easier just to grab and go instead of mixing all of it together. But yeah, that is going to be the challenge with the set, especially if I want to do things like characters, which I wanted to do, but I might not be able to do it now. But yeah, we will see. I'm excited to try this. I'm excited to try this in combination with the other soft pastel sticks I have. From the Dala range, and I can't remember what else I have. I've got 2 or 3 like stick related sets, small sets, not big sets. I want to use that with these, but I also want to use these in combination with the Arctics. Oops, I need to stretch again. But I also want to use them in combination with the Arctics oil pastels. Don't ask me how I'm going to do that. I have no idea yet. But yeah, I want to try and use these all together somehow, somewhere, try and figure out some artwork with this in the new year. And yeah, keep an eye out on the channel for that. But yeah, everyone, I think that is it. My room is officially a mess. My space is a mess. I've got pencils and pastels and pens and artwork everywhere. But you know what? If I look back, I think about this as something good. I think back at it as thinking, you know what, 2025 was a productive year. Did I make as much art as I wanted to? Definitely not. Am I glad I did the projects I did and I learned a lot from them? Most definitely. Was my cup filled up with these projects? Yes. And I think that is the important part, to remember that as long as you do your craft, and it doesn't matter if it's crafting, painting, like we've said on this channel, it doesn't matter what you do, as long as it's filling up your cup, then that's good. That is good for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys got a little bit of inspiration. This was not a video to show off how much I have, but more of what I have used this year to achieve some goals, achieve some dreams, and being able to learn more about different art mediums and just growing a skill set that I've really started to love over the last couple of years, and getting into art and being able to share that with the small community I have right now, and hopefully it's one day it will be a bit bigger. But yeah, I'm excited for next year, but there's still one video left before this year ends. It's gonna be a Christmas elf. I'm just gonna say that. You guys will have to stick around for next week to see that video. Thank you so very much for watching. Thank you for sticking around for close to 14 minutes plus. I've been talking way too much. I need a cup of tea. Thank you, everyone. I will see you in the next video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening or day wherever you are. Until next time, bye bye.